Hey everybody, Thomas Vanderkin, Global Account Manager from Lenovo, back again. A little bit different, not an unboxing video today, but I'm going to look at two different phones from Motorola that just were announced. So we got a G7, which is distinctive because of the smaller teardrop size notch at the top, and the G7 Power, which has a little bigger teardrop size at the top. So we're going to kind of compare and contrast these two phones and talk a little bit about Motorola. So one thing I wanted to start out with is just the success that Motorola is regaining here in the world, but also in North America. So I looked at U.S. smartphone shipments. So I just pulled that up. This is from the end of last year, but you can see clearly Apple, Samsung, LG are the market leaders in the U.S., but Motorola is a strong fourth, and I think we're gaining share moving forward. So, and that success is being replicated around the world. So Motorola is back, coming out with some great phones, but even more importantly, I think phones that are accessible and bringing all the best features of high-end phones to the mid-range. That seems like we're really being successful. So just a little bit about these two phones. First of all, they're the G7 series, so we have a G series, an E series, and an X and a Z series. My videos are all shot on the Z, so I was interested to see how the G series would look. So there's two different price points here. So in the US, there's these two, but then there's also a G7 Play. I don't have that, and I'm not going to cover that today. But the price point and where this gets interesting is the G7 with the smaller notch is $300, and the G7 Power with the bigger notch is $250 in the U.S. But there's benefits and disadvantages to both of them. The big benefit of the G7 is it has the dual camera, this one, so if you're going to do your portrait mode and you want the fuzz out the background, this is going to work a lot better for that. And it has a 1080p screen, so it's going to be a little bit higher resolution screen. And it has a little bit more, it comes with 64 gigs of memory. So that's some advantages on the G7 and an extra $50. However, the difference is that this one has a 3,000 milliamp battery, but the G7 Power has a 5,000 milliamp battery with the mid-range processor, same processor, one camera in the back with the flash. But with this battery, you're actually going to get about 10 hours of active screen time. So this one, you're going to get about 5 hours of active screen time. So for me, this one, by the end of the day, after 5 hours, I'm usually putting in more time than that on my phone. It's going to start running out of power. This one with 10 hours easily gets me through the day. Some people might go 2 or 3 days with 10 hours of active screen time. Thanks to these both shipping with the Pi, you're able to check your digital wellness on there. So let's look at some of the ports here, which I think some people are going to appreciate. So we've got USB-C for charging and a headphone jack on this one, which is really great. The Power also has USB-C here, and the headphone jack is on the top. We have on the back of both of them, right in the Motorola logo, that's the fingerprint reader, so easy to touch, good access there. Same on the back of this one. The G7 has a glass back. This one has a plastic back. Just some other differences between the two. Neither one of these are IPS rated for dropping in the pool. So if you drop it in the pool, they're done. They do have kind of a splash resistant coating on them, which might help a little bit. But generally, it's like Rain-X for the phone. You're not gonna if you drop them in the water, they're done. I've been really surprised and delighted with the screen. After using the Z with the OLED, I was worried about dropping back down to the LCD screen. I've had no problem. I've been using this for a couple days. I even like some of the features I use, like on YouTube. If you're playing a video, you can see here you can expand it, go to fill the whole screen with the little notch, or you can make it smaller. But it looks great on YouTube. My sons have been using it for things like RuneScape, so with that mid-range 600 series processor, seems to do okay on those things. I've heard other people, if you're using it for like PUBG, it might start to stutter, and you're not going to get the great access to the $750,000, $1,200 phone is going to give you. But in the $250 price range, I think these are very, very acceptable, and really the high-end phones for 3, 4, 5 times the price really have a lot of justification to do to figure out why you'd pay that much when you can really get everything you need in this phone. So that's it for today. I just want to talk about these two phones. You'll see a lot of writing here at the bottom. That's because Lenovo has this thing we internally called dog fooding, so we get the phones a little early so we can do the testing with our Motorola team. So obviously a lot of that, this kind of language won't be on your phone. You'll just get the Motorola logo at the bottom when you buy it. So that's it for today. Thanks for joining, everybody. We'll talk to you again soon. Bye.